you are in a simulation. Here's how to exit. Reality is not what you see, but what you believe. This powerful truth lies at the heart of Neville Goddard's teachings. And today, on Spiritual Wisdom, we're diving into the life-changing realization that you are living inside a simulation shaped by your own mind. But here's the good news. You also hold the key to exit it. Through conscious imagination, spiritual awakening, and the mastery of inner perception, Neville shows us how to break free from illusion and step into a life of clarity, purpose, and manifestation. So what does your current reality say about your inner beliefs? Comment below with your thoughts, and let's explore how we can start reshaping the simulation from the inside out. 1. Reality is a simulation created by consciousness. What if the world around you, everything you see, touch, and feel is not as real as it appears? What if life, as you know it, is not a fixed reality, but a mirror, a simulation shaped entirely by the energy of your own consciousness? This is the transformative idea behind the teachings of Neville Goddard, a spiritual visionary who taught that our outer world is nothing more than a projection of our inner state. He boldly claimed that reality, in its most fundamental form, is a simulation created by our own awareness. And to change the simulation, to exit the illusions that bind us, we must first reprogram the energy within. The life you're living right now is not random. It's not simply a product of external forces. It's a direct reflection of the beliefs you hold, the thoughts you entertain, and the emotions you rehearse day after day. If your reality feels repetitive, limited, or heavy with struggle, it's because the subconscious script you're operating from hasn't changed. The simulation continues to mirror your inner world, and it will keep doing so until you choose to rewrite it. That's the secret. You don't escape this reality by fighting it. You evolve beyond it by awakening to your spiritual power. Neville taught that consciousness is the only true reality. Everything else, your circumstances, your relationships, your success or lack thereof, is secondary. Your inner conversations, the feelings you embody when no one is watching, the silent beliefs you carry, these are the forces building your life moment by moment. To step out of the simulation is to stop reacting to the outside world and start responding to your own divine nature. When you consciously choose higher thoughts, when you release fear and replace it with faith, when you speak life instead of lack, you alter the simulation itself. This process requires more than wishful thinking. It demands honesty. You must be willing to observe yourself, to question the beliefs you've inherited, and to let go of the emotional baggage you've carried for too long. You must learn to feel your way into new realities before they appear. It's in those quiet moments when you shift your internal dialogue, when you choose peace instead of panic, when you affirm your worth, even if the world hasn't recognized it yet, that you begin to exit the illusion and enter alignment. One of Neville's most powerful truths is this: change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. This isn't just an inspiring quote, it's a spiritual code. As your inner world transforms, your outer world must follow. That's not theory, that's the law. Spiritual awakening begins when you no longer wait for life to improve, but decide to improve the energy from which life flows. So what does this mean for you right now? It means the door out of your current limitations isn't locked, it never was. It means the key has always been within you. Start small. Shift one belief. Heal one wound. Speak one new truth. Every internal change is a signal to the simulation that you are no longer asleep. You're awake, aware, and ready to create from a higher frequency. Stop living as a victim of your outer world. Step into the awareness that you are the creator of it. That is the path to freedom. That is the exit. That is the power of true spiritual awakening. If you're ready to shift your inner world and take control of the simulation, comment, "I'm awakening" below. Your thoughts help us grow and reach more conscious souls like you. 2. Imagination is the gateway to manifestation. Imagination is more important than knowledge, Einstein once said, and in the realm of spiritual awakening, those words carry immense weight. Neville Goddard, one of the most influential spiritual teachers of the modern era, taught that imagination is not just a mental escape, it is the very gateway to manifestation. Everything begins in the mind, and more specifically, in the spiritual energy of imagination. You're not here to merely react to life. You're here to create it. When you imagine vividly and live as though your desire is already fulfilled, what Neville calls living in the end, you begin to reprogram your subconscious, which is the true powerhouse behind your reality. The subconscious doesn't recognize the difference between what's real and what's imagined. It only responds to what you consistently feel. So when you align your inner world with the feeling of your wish already being true, you send out a spiritual signal to the universe. That signal is energy, and energy is always matched. This is not fantasy. It's not wishful thinking. It is spiritual law in action. What most people don't realize is that imagination is not just for artists or children. It's a sacred tool available to everyone who dares to awaken. We live in a simulation of our own thoughts, beliefs, and expectations, and the only way to exit it is from within. You don't break free by trying to fix the outer world. You escape by transforming the inner world. Neville's teachings reveal that this simulation bends to your dominant state of consciousness. If you feel poor, unseen, unloved, or stuck, that's exactly what life will echo back. But if you train your imagination to see abundance, purpose, connection, and expansion, those spiritual patterns will begin to manifest into form. It's not about forcing reality. It's about spiritually aligning with a version of yourself that already holds the key. And that version exists right now in your consciousness, waiting to be claimed. As Neville once said, change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. So ask yourself, what self-image are you secretly holding on to? What are you affirming with your thoughts, your feelings, your imagination? Are you rehearsing limitations, or are you rehearsing transformation? The power to shift your life is not hidden in the future. It's already present, here and now, in your spiritual awareness. Imagination is not some idle escape. It is the sacred blueprint for creation. The more you honor it, the more you exit the simulation and awaken to the truth that reality is responding to you, not the other way around. Once you grasp this, everything changes. You stop being a character in someone else's story and become the author of your own. And in that moment, spiritual power becomes real, not just an idea, but a lived experience that transforms everything. If you're ready to activate your creative power, comment below, "I am living in the end." Your words shape your world. Let's manifest the life you desire. 3. Key techniques to exit the simulation. Goddard didn't just propose a theory, he offered a spiritual roadmap to escape the illusion and step into a life of conscious creation. His teachings are not abstract philosophy. They are a practical system to reprogram your internal world so that the outer world must obey. Let's begin with the concept of revision. Goddard taught that the past is not fixed. It is fluid in your memory and therefore subject to change. He encouraged people to mentally rewrite painful or limiting past experiences in a way that empowers them. Why? Because the subconscious doesn't distinguish between what actually happened and what is vividly imagined. When you revise the past in your inner world, you change the emotional blueprint your subconscious follows. Over time, this reshapes your beliefs and therefore the reality you live in. Consider this. How many of your current decisions are based on what you believe about your past? What if those beliefs are false? Revision is not denial, it's spiritual correction. Next is the use of affirmations, not just empty words repeated mindlessly, but carefully chosen statements that carry emotional conviction. Goddard emphasized that your inner dialogue creates your outer reality. So instead of saying, "I am always unlucky," start affirming, "I am aligned with success and divine favor." The key is to feel the truth of what you're saying. Affirmations aren't just motivational, they are commands issued to your subconscious. And because your subconscious governs nearly 95% of your behavior, aligning it with spiritual truth is one of the most powerful tools for transformation. Then comes visualization, which Goddard called seeing with the eye of the mind. When you visualize with sensory detail and emotional intensity, your brain begins to believe it's real. Your subconscious takes it as a signal that this is your new reality. In a world where so many are hypnotized by fear-based media and external distractions, visualization helps you reclaim creative control. It activates the spiritual truth that you are the author of your life, not a character being written by chance. Another profound practice is scripting, writing out your desired life as if it's already happened. Think of this as a sacred letter to the universe, or even a prayer to your higher self. Writing is a powerful act of focus, and it anchors your vision into your nervous system. It's not about wishful thinking. It's about becoming so clear in your intention that the universe has no choice but to comply. When you script, you spiritually declare that you are no longer reacting to life. You are responding as a creator. Finally, Goddard spoke about acting as if living each day from the energy of your desired future. This isn't faking it, it's faith in motion. For example, if you seek abundance, ask yourself, how would I walk, talk, and make decisions if I already had what I desired? This spiritual alignment between thought and action sends a clear message to the subconscious, which then begins to shift your identity at the root level. You stop chasing outcomes and start embodying them. When you combine these 5 techniques, revision, affirmations, visualization, scripting, and acting, as if you create a powerful spiritual toolkit for escaping the simulation of limitation and stepping into the life you were meant to live. The simulation isn't out there. It's inside the subconscious patterns you unknowingly follow. But the moment you awaken to your power, you become the architect of your reality. So ask yourself, which of these techniques speaks to you most right now? If this message sparked something within you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's ready to take control of their spiritual path. 4. Belief and faith are fundamental to creation. One of the most powerful truths you can ever come to understand is that belief and faith are not just concepts of comfort. They are the very foundations of creation itself. When we explore the teachings of Neville Goddard and others who have walked the spiritual path before us, we realize that manifesting change in our lives is not about wishful thinking or fleeting hope. It is about cultivating a deep inner certainty, a spiritual awakening that what we desire has already been set in motion the moment we align ourselves with it in faith. You see, in a universe that responds to energy and consciousness, belief is the seed and faith is the water. Without these two elements working together, the soil of your inner world cannot bring forth the fruit of your desires. Many people struggle with manifestation because they are unknowingly operating from a place of fear, doubt, and deeply rooted limitations. These inner patterns, often formed from past traumas or societal conditioning, create invisible boundaries around what they believe is possible. But here's the spiritual truth. If you allow these beliefs to run the show, you will only ever manifest more of the same limitations. This is where spiritual awakening becomes essential. When you begin to wake up from the programmed simulation of fear-based thinking, you reclaim your ability to rewrite the script of your reality. As Neville Goddard often emphasized, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That is not a casual suggestion. It is a commandment for the spiritual creator. So how do you do it? You must first become aware of the unconscious beliefs that are sabotaging your manifestations. Are you telling yourself that you are not worthy? That you never have enough? That things never work out for you? Challenge those beliefs. Replace them. Speak new truths over your life until they become the dominant story. The subconscious mind does not know the difference between a truth and a repeated statement. It accepts what it hears most often. That's why affirmations, visualizations, and mental rehearsals are so powerful. They are not rituals of fantasy. They are training exercises for the mind to build a new internal reality that will eventually become your outer world. The world you experience is a reflection of your inner atmosphere. If you want to change what you see, you must change how you are. Step by step, start replacing fear with faith, doubt with trust, and worry with confidence. This is not blind optimism. It is divine alignment. And as you stay consistent in that alignment, you'll find that life begins to shift in ways that defy logic, but align perfectly with your belief. Spiritual awakening is not just about becoming more aware. It's about using that awareness to take your power back. The simulation you're in responds to the energy you radiate. When you choose belief over doubt and faith over fear, you're not just changing your mindset, you're exiting the limited version of yourself and stepping into your divine blueprint. Keep walking that path. Speak your new reality into existence. And remember, the only thing more powerful than the illusion of limitation is the truth of who you really are. If this message has touched your spirit today, leave a comment of faith. I choose belief over doubt. I trust that what's meant for me is already on its way. 5. Surrender to divine timing. Manifestation isn't about chasing, pushing, or forcing things to happen. It's about surrendering to divine timing and trusting that the universe is unfolding your desires in the most perfect way, even if you can't yet see it. This is one of the most powerful spiritual principles taught by Neville Goddard, who emphasized that our inner world, our imagination and beliefs, shapes our outer reality. But here's the deeper truth. While your thoughts and feelings initiate the manifestation process, the actual arrival of your desires depends not on your pressure, but on your peace. As Lao Tzu wisely said, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. When you operate from spiritual alignment instead of anxious urgency, you give the universe space to do what it does best: deliver what's yours, in the right place, at the right time. If you've ever looked back on something you once desperately wanted, but didn't receive until later, or maybe didn't receive at all, you may have noticed something powerful. Either it showed up in a better form than you imagined, or life led you to something far more aligned. That's the beauty of divine timing. It's not just about delay, it's about preparation and protection. When you're in tune with spiritual wisdom, you realize that not everything you desire is meant to happen right away. The universe might be aligning circumstances, shifting energies, or even clearing people from your life to make space for something greater. The waiting is not a void. It's a womb where your manifestation is forming. And when you truly trust divine timing, you stop asking, "When will it come?" and start affirming, "It's already on the way." Right now, you might be feeling frustrated or discouraged, wondering if your efforts are in vain. But let me speak directly to your spirit. If you knew how intricately your path is being guided, you'd rest instead of resist. Ask yourself, are you surrendering or still striving? Are you embodying the energy of trust, or are you trapped in fear and control? Spiritual growth begins when you stop treating the universe like a vending machine and start honoring it as a sacred partner. Surrender isn't giving up, it's rising higher. It's choosing peace over panic, presence over pressure. When you align your energy with belief, when you feel the joy and gratitude now, you shift into the timeline where your desires are already fulfilled. Always remember, spiritual manifestation is a dance between vision and surrender. You hold the vision, take inspired action, but let go of the timeline. As Martin Luther King Jr. once said, faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. So take that step. Trust the unseen. Rest in the knowing that what's meant for you is not just coming. It's being prepared with love, precision, and divine intelligence. And when it arrives, it won't be late. It'll be right on time. Now, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and release the need to control. Trust that what is meant for you is already on its way. Repeat with me. I surrender to divine timing. I trust the process. What's mine is finding me now. 6. True escape requires awareness and unity consciousness. Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. These powerful words from Neville Goddard don't just hint at self-improvement. They reveal the secret to escaping the illusion we often mistake for reality. You see, we live in what many spiritual teachers call a simulation, not a digital program, but a false version of life built on unconscious thought patterns, ego-driven desires, and separation from our divine source. Escaping this simulation doesn't mean running away from the world. It means awakening to a higher state of being, one rooted in spiritual awareness and unity consciousness. When you begin to question your inner world, when you stop accepting every thought as truth and start becoming the observer of your mind, something shifts. You become aware that the simulation is not out there. It's within your conditioning, your fears, your beliefs. And from that realization, a new door opens, the path to spiritual freedom. The first step is awareness. Most people live in a fog, trapped in mental loops that repeat day after day. They react, they chase, they survive. But when you become conscious of your thoughts, you begin to understand that you are not your mind. You are the one witnessing the mind. This moment of realization is the beginning of liberation. It's not enough to intellectually know this. You must feel it, live it, breathe it. Your thoughts are not just random noise. They are creative instructions sent out to shape your reality. Neville Goddard often spoke of imagination as the divine force that constructs the outer world, and he was right. What you see outside is just a reflection of what's happening inside. When you become aware of this, the simulation loses its grip. But awareness alone is only part of the path. The true transformation happens when you move from ego consciousness to unity consciousness. The ego says, I am separate. I must protect. I must compete. But unity consciousness reveals a far more empowering truth. You are not separate. You are connected to all life. You are one with the divine. When you begin to operate from this truth, your life changes on a fundamental level. You stop reacting to fear, and you start creating from love. You stop looking for validation, and you begin radiating truth. Unity consciousness is not just an idea, it's a frequency, a way of being that aligns you with the infinite intelligence that governs all things. This shift is not only spiritual, it's practical. Once you awaken to your true nature, you begin to live deliberately. You speak with intention. You choose your thoughts. You attract new experiences, not through force, but through alignment. The simulation bends to your awareness because you are no longer running on autopilot. You're living from a conscious, powerful, spiritually awakened state. So I ask you, are you ready to exit the illusion? Are you ready to stop being a passive participant in a programmed world and start living as a creator within divine reality? Because the truth is, the way out was never hidden. It's within you. And once you awaken to that, the simulation no longer has any control over your destiny. Stay connected with our Awaken community by subscribing to the channel. Here, we explore higher consciousness, unity, and divine truth. Remember, true freedom begins when you realize you are one with all life and the power of creation flows through you. 7. You are a conscious creator. You are not just a bystander in life. You are the conscious creator of your reality. Neville Goddard's teachings revolve around one profound truth. Self-realization is the key to spiritual awakening. According to Neville, you are not here to suffer through random circumstances or to be tossed around by the tides of fate. You are here to recognize that you are a chosen one, endowed with the spiritual power to shape your life with awareness and intention. This is not simply about wishful thinking or escaping problems. It's about understanding that the external world is a reflection of your internal state. And by changing your inner consciousness, you can transform what you experience in the outer world. Goddard reminds us, change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. This is not just philosophy. It is a spiritual technology, a way of unlocking your own divine potential. Many people go through life believing they are stuck, waiting for circumstances to change before they can feel free, happy, or successful. But Neville flips that idea upside down. He teaches that liberation doesn't come from the outside, it comes from within. The moment you stop seeing yourself as a powerless victim and start living as a conscious creator, your entire world begins to shift. You don't need to wait for permission. You don't need to beg for miracles. You already have the authority to bend the simulation of your life experience by choosing new thoughts, embodying new beliefs, and aligning your actions with the version of yourself you want to become. This isn't an overnight fix, but it's the beginning of real, lasting freedom. So let me speak directly to you if you've been feeling stuck, if the same patterns keep showing up in your life, or if you're searching for something deeper. This is your invitation. Your awakening begins the moment you decide to take responsibility for your consciousness. No one can do it for you. It's a personal journey, but you are never truly alone. There is a divine intelligence moving through you, and when you begin to align with it, the path becomes clearer. This is the essence of spiritual awakening, not escaping life, but engaging with it fully from a higher perspective. You are not meant to merely survive. You are here to thrive, to create, and to embody your spiritual truth. The takeaway here is simple but powerful. You have the power to exit the illusion of limitation by awakening to your true identity. The simulation ends when you stop reacting and start creating. That's when life becomes a reflection of your higher self, not your fears. You are a conscious, spiritual being having a human experience, and every thought you think, every belief you hold, is shaping your reality right now. So the next time life presents a challenge, ask yourself, am I reacting like a victim or responding like a creator? That one shift can open the door to everything you've been searching for. To affirm your role as a conscious creator, declare it with intention. Comment below, I create with purpose, to honor your spiritual power and inspire others to step boldly into their divine authority. And so, as we've explored Neville Goddard's powerful insights into the nature of reality and the concept of this life as a simulation, remember this. The key to exiting isn't about escaping your world, it's about awakening within it. Your imagination, your consciousness, and your inner alignment are the tools that allow you to shift your experience and unlock a life of purpose and power. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like this video, share it with others who may be seeking truth, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom for more content that inspires deep transformation. Make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment of insight. Until next time, keep awakening and keep rising. The magic within you and how to activate it. Energy equals magic. Albert Einstein once said, "The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science." Today, we're diving into that mystery within you. The magic you seek is not somewhere out there. It's within you, waiting to be activated. In this video, we'll explore how you can tap into your inner energy and unlock the boundless potential of your soul. Imagine how your life could transform if you harness this power daily. How would it change your relationships, your success, your happiness? Let me know in the comments, what does activating your magic mean to you? Let's begin this journey to awakening the magic within, together. 1. Embrace your inner magic. What if the most powerful force you've been searching for has always been within you, waiting patiently to be awakened? In a world that constantly urges men to look outward for validation, success, and purpose, there is a quiet, profound truth that often gets overlooked. The greatest source of power, clarity, and fulfillment lies within. This isn't some far-fetched fantasy or esoteric myth. It's spiritual truth, backed by both ancient wisdom and modern understanding of energy and consciousness. Today, we're diving deep into the truth behind your inner magic, how to recognize it, awaken it, and begin using it as the catalyst for real transformation in every area of your life. There exists within every A source of energy so potent it can completely reshape how he experiences the world. This energy isn't fantasy. It's spiritual magic in its truest form. Not the kind of magic portrayed in stories with wands and spells, but the type rooted in your connection to a higher state of awareness. It is the creative, intelligent force that fuels your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately, your reality. When you realize that you are not just flesh and blood, but a unique expression of the universal energy that created galaxies, everything begins to shift. You're no longer reacting to life. You're creating it, intentionally and powerfully. But here's the challenge. Most of us have been conditioned to forget this. In the fast-paced grind of modern life, we trade our inner knowing for external validation. We chase promotions, accumulate things, and strive for status, believing these are the hallmarks of a successful man. Yet despite the accolades and achievements, many still feel a gnawing emptiness. Why? Because true fulfillment doesn't come from the outside. It rises from within. When you realign with your spiritual energy, when you reconnect with the magic that lives inside of you, success transforms from a pursuit into a natural state of being. The key to this transformation lies in energy. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, carries a frequency. That frequency radiates outward and directly influences what you attract into your life. As spiritual wisdom has taught for centuries, and as quantum physics now confirms, like attracts like. This is why cultivating positive, intentional thoughts is not just a feel-good habit. It's a powerful practice that shifts your entire vibration. When you operate from a high vibrational state, you don't chase opportunities, they begin to find you. You don't force connections. Aligned relationships naturally gravitate toward your energy. To activate this power is to commit to daily spiritual practices that strengthen your connection to your higher self. This isn't about adding another task to your to-do list. It's about reclaiming sacred time for yourself. Carve out quiet moments in your day for reflection, for meditation, for breath. Visualize your dreams, not as distant possibilities, but as current realities. Feel them. Live them in your heart before they manifest in your world. Surround yourself with environments, people, and energy that lift your spirit and remind you of who you truly are. As you embrace these practices, transformation becomes inevitable. The weight of doubt begins to lift. Obstacles no longer feel like roadblocks, but invitations to rise higher. You begin moving through life not with stress and fear, but with ease, confidence, and clarity. The spiritual energy within you, this magic, is no longer dormant. It's active, alive, and guiding you toward a life of deeper purpose, fulfillment, and joy. So the question now becomes, are you ready to awaken this power? Are you ready to stop living on autopilot and start living with divine intention? Because the truth is, the magic within you is real. It's waiting. And the moment you decide to embrace it, everything changes. If this message speaks to something deep inside you, let this be the moment you declare your transformation. Type, "I will awaken my power" in the comments below as a powerful step toward your spiritual awakening. Let your words become your commitment to the greatest journey you will ever take, the one inward, toward the truth of who you really are. 2. Awaken the divine light within. There is a powerful truth that many overlook, yet it holds the key to transforming your life from the inside out. You carry within you a spark, an invisible, sacred energy that connects you to something far greater than yourself. This isn't just poetic language or spiritual symbolism. It's real. This energy is the same life force that flows through all of creation. It exists beyond what you can see or touch, yet its presence is undeniable when you learn how to tune into it. Beneath the noise of everyday life, under the layers of self-doubt and distraction, lies a current of divine power. And the moment you choose to acknowledge it, your spiritual awakening begins. So many people go through life feeling disconnected, wondering why nothing feels quite right, or why their purpose seems so far away. But what if the answers you've been looking for aren't out there somewhere? What if they're already inside of you, waiting to be discovered? The magic is not hidden in the stars or locked away in a secret book. The magic is you. The energy you hold within is not just potential, it is pure possibility, ready to be activated by your awareness and intention. To access this energy, you don't need anything external. What you do need is stillness. Just pause, take a deep breath, close your eyes, turn your attention inward. This simple act, this moment of inner listening, can shift everything. It's in that silence that the energy begins to stir. You might feel it as a soft warmth in your chest, a sense of peace washing over you, or even a quiet knowing that you are not alone. These are not coincidences. This is your soul aligning with its original frequency. This is the start of your alignment with the universal life force. A daily practice doesn't have to be complicated. Just 5 minutes of stillness, mindful breathing, or quiet reflection can open the door to a deeper experience of yourself. When you create space to connect with your inner light, you strengthen the bridge between your physical and spiritual selves. You begin to live more consciously, guided not just by logic, but by wisdom that comes from a higher place. Your decisions become clearer. Your energy becomes calmer. Life begins to unfold with more harmony. The journey of spiritual awakening is not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you truly are beneath the noise and stories. When you recognize that you are already connected to the divine, everything begins to change. That unseen thread of light isn't something you have to earn or chase. It's something you awaken through presence, patience, and practice. If these words touch something deep within you, it's because the truth already lives in you. I'm just here to remind you of it. So as you continue walking this path, know this: you are not powerless. You are not lost. You are not broken. You are becoming. Every conscious breath you take is an act of magic. Every moment of stillness is a step toward your true power. 3. You are a creator. You are not here by accident. You are a divine thread woven into the infinite tapestry of this universe. And within you, yes, you lies a magnificent force, a spark of spiritual energy that has the power to shape, transform, and create. What if I told you that the magic you've been searching for outside has always been inside you? Your thoughts are not random. They are not meaningless background noise. They are powerful, pulsing streams of energy that send out signals into the universe. These thoughts, when repeated, believed, and emotionally charged, begin to shape your reality. As spiritual teacher Wayne Dyer once said, "You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are." So let me ask you, what are you broadcasting to the universe right now? Take a moment to reflect your current reality. The life you're living today is not an accident. It's a mirror of the energy you've been putting out, knowingly or unknowingly. The frustrations, the wins, the cycles that keep repeating, all of them are shaped by the vibration of your inner world. But here's the empowering truth. Once you become aware of this, you hold the key to change everything. Have you ever noticed how things shift when you change your mindset? That's not coincidence, it's energy. Energy is magic in motion. And when you become conscious of your thoughts, when you start choosing beliefs that empower you rather than drain you, you activate that inner magic. You awaken the creator within. With constant distractions, obligations, and the pressure to perform, it's easy to forget that we're spiritual beings first. But no matter how chaotic the world seems, your inner energy is always active, always working behind the scenes. When you align your thoughts with love, truth, and intention, you shift your vibration, and that's when transformation begins. This isn't just positive thinking. This is spiritual alignment in action. Paulo Coelho beautifully wrote in The Alchemist, "When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it." That want he speaks of isn't just a wish, it's an intention rooted in belief and energy. Are you willing to believe that your thoughts and your energy can reshape your reality? This understanding is the foundation of all spiritual wisdom. It invites you to stop living on autopilot and start co-creating your life with purpose. When you live consciously, you stop reacting and start responding. You stop settling and start choosing. You begin to direct your energy toward experiences that bring fulfillment, peace, and deep meaning. If you resonate with this truth, if you feel that stirring in your soul, affirm it now by saying, "I am a creator." Let the universe hear it. Let your own spirit hear it. And if you see things from a different lens, I welcome your voice. Share your thoughts, comment with, "I see it another way." Every perspective adds richness to this journey. Remember, you're not just surviving life, you're shaping it. And when you truly awaken to the spiritual magic within you, the possibilities become infinite. 4. The science of manifestation. Quantum physics has shaken the very foundation of how we understand the universe. Contrary to the long-held belief that we live in a world made of solid matter, we now know that everything around us, including ourselves, is composed of vibrating energy. This profound realization doesn't just belong in a science textbook. It has deep spiritual implications. It means that you, as a human being, are not just flesh and bones, but a dynamic field of energy interacting constantly with the energy of the universe. This energy exchange is not passive. When you become aware of your personal energy and learn how to align it, you begin to unlock the magic within you, the power of manifestation. Spiritual teachers and scientists alike point to the same truth. Albert Einstein famously said, "Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it." Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but bring that reality into being. This is not just a motivational quote, it's a formula. what you focus on, what you emotionally invest in, and how you act all contribute to the frequency you are operating on. If you want to create a life filled with peace, love, and abundance, you must align your energy with those very vibrations. That alignment is where the magic happens. But it starts with awareness. Are your thoughts lifting you or dragging you down? Are your emotions feeding your vision or fueling your fear? The first step in activating your spiritual magic is setting a clear and specific intention. Think of your intention as the spiritual blueprint of your desires. It's not enough to say, "I want to be happy," or "I want success." You must define what that looks like for you. Visualize it in vivid detail. See it, feel it, hear it, taste it. Step into that future version of yourself with total presence. And don't just stop there. Let your emotions catch up to your vision. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the excitement, as if it's already yours. This emotional energy is not just wishful thinking. It raises your vibration and magnetizes your reality toward you. But intention without action is just a dream. That's why inspired action is crucial. The steps you take in the physical world are a direct reflection of your spiritual alignment. When your actions align with your intentions, you demonstrate faith, clarity, and purpose. Every step you take toward your goal, no matter how small, is a way of telling the universe, "I'm ready." And the universe, in its infinite intelligence, responds in kind. The energy you put out is the energy that returns to you. To sustain this high-frequency state, practicing gratitude is essential. Gratitude is a spiritual accelerator. It multiplies what you already have and opens the doors to receive more. When you shift your focus from what's missing to what's already present, your energy expands. You begin to emit the vibration of abundance, and the universe mirrors it back. Even in the face of challenges, holding on to gratitude helps you stay grounded in faith. Obstacles are not punishments. They are spiritual invitations to grow, to recalibrate your energy, and to remember your divine power. As you walk this path, remember this: you are never alone. The universe is not random, it is responsive. It listens not to your words, but to the energy behind them. So stay intentional, stay grateful, stay open, and most of all, trust. Trust that your desires are already on their way. Trust that every energetic investment you make is building something beautiful behind the scenes. If this message resonates with your spirit and you feel a spark awakening within you, I invite you to drop a comment below with the words "Magic Within." Let's keep exploring together. Let's continue uncovering the layers of our true selves and stepping boldly into the reality we were always meant to live. Because when you align your energy, you don't just change your life, you light up the world. 5. Prana, chi, and the energy within. There is a powerful energy within you, an invisible current that flows through your body, mind, and spirit. In ancient wisdom traditions, this energy is known as prana in Hindu philosophy and chi in Chinese teachings. But make no mistake, this is not just a spiritual idea or symbolic metaphor. It is real. It is the very essence of life itself. And when you understand how to work with it, it can become one of your greatest sources of strength, clarity, and transformation. For thousands of years, practices like pranayama, the art of conscious breathing, and tai chi, a moving meditation, were developed to cultivate this life force. These aren't just slow movements or breathing techniques. They are tools. Tools that help you tap into the core energy that fuels every heartbeat, every thought, and every moment of awareness. When you learn to align with this energy and guide it intentionally, you begin to feel more alive, more centered, and more in tune with your higher purpose. Now here's the beautiful truth. This energy isn't just reserved for monks, gurus, or people living on mountaintops. It's not about being spiritual enough. It's already within you. You were born with it. You are breathing it right now. But most people go through life disconnected from this inner power. They feel tired, anxious, unmotivated, not realizing that these states often come from blocked or imbalanced energy within the body and mind. It's like having a light switch turned off, unaware that you have the power to flip it back on. When your energy is misaligned, your world feels heavy. But when it's flowing in harmony, everything shifts. You feel lighter, more open, more creative. Your perception of life expands. Emotional wounds begin to heal. Your nervous system calms. You stop surviving and start thriving. And that shift, that inner transformation, is what we call spiritual awakening. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you've always been underneath the noise. You don't need anything outside of you to begin this journey. What you truly need is already inside. Your breath, your awareness, your intention. These are your tools. Begin by paying attention to your energy throughout the day. Notice when you feel drained, scattered, or heavy. Those are signs your life force needs tending. Even a few minutes of conscious breathing can reset your inner state and bring you back into balance. And if something inside you is lighting up right now, if you feel that quiet call to reconnect with your power, I want you to know you're not alone. You're part of a greater awakening happening across the planet. More and more people are remembering the truth. Energy is magic, and the magic is within you. So pause. Take a deep breath. Say to yourself, I am balanced. Let that become your new mantra as you learn to work with the energy that is already present in your life. This is not a one-time practice. This is a way of living, a way of being, a path that brings you home to yourself. 6. Ujjayi, breath and energy alignment. Breath is more than just a biological function. It is the bridge between your physical existence and your spiritual energy. When you consciously engage in mindful breathing techniques like the Ujjayi breath used in yoga, you begin to tap into a powerful internal force that has the potential to heal, transform, and awaken. This isn't just theory. This is ancient wisdom backed by experience and spiritual science. Ujjayi breath, sometimes called victorious breath, creates a soft, ocean-like sound in your throat as you inhale and exhale slowly through your nose. This rhythmic sound anchors your awareness and quiets the mind. But beyond its calming effects, it does something much deeper. It begins to dissolve energetic blockages, those emotional and spiritual barriers you may not even realize are holding you back. In doing so, it amplifies your vitality, clears your inner space, and connects you to the universe's flow of abundance and harmony. Imagine for a moment, every breath you take has the power to cleanse your energy, release past burdens, and realign you with your true purpose. Can something so simple be that transformative? Yes, and that's the beauty of it. As Tony Robbins wisely said, where focus goes, energy flows. When you focus on your breath, you're not just breathing. You're directing your life force. You're turning your attention inward, where all real transformation begins. So ask yourself, What have I been focusing on lately? Is it aligned with the life I want to create? With each intentional breath, you give yourself a fresh start and a spiritual reset. You plant the seeds of clarity, strength, and manifestation. And just like tending to a garden, these seeds grow when nourished by your attention and your energy. This is how you begin to activate the magic within you, not through force, but through presence. Not through striving, but through surrender. Breathwork is not about doing more. It's about being more aware, more attuned, more connected. As you begin this practice, you may start to notice something miraculous. Your thoughts become clearer, your emotions more balanced, your intuition sharper. That's because you're no longer scattering your energy. You're harmonizing it. And in that harmony, true spiritual power is born. Breathe in. Feel the energy rise. Breathe out. Feel the tension release. Isn't it amazing that the very act of breathing, something we do every single moment, can become the most powerful tool for self-realization? And here's the most exciting part. With each breath, you are writing a new story. One where you are the creator. Not the victim of your circumstances, not the product of your past, but the conscious architect of your future. When you align your breath with your intention, you become a magnet for miracles. The universe begins to mirror your inner clarity with external blessings. That's not magic in the fairy tale sense, that's spiritual alignment in action. Because the moment you say yes, you step into a new vibration, a new dimension of being, a space where energy is not just something you feel, it's something you direct. And when energy is directed with love, with awareness, and with purpose, that is when it becomes magic. So take this moment, take a breath, and remember, the magic has always been within you. You just needed to breathe it alive. 7. Unblock energy pathways. Within every one of us exists a vast and intricate network of energy pathways known as meridians. These spiritual channels carry life force, often referred to as chi or prana, throughout the body. When these pathways are open and flowing freely, you feel empowered, balanced, and deeply connected to your authentic self. This is when your inner magic becomes available. But when stress, toxic thoughts, emotional wounds, or poor habits creep in, those energy channels become blocked. And over time, that blockage doesn't just affect your mood, it shows up as physical discomfort, anxiety, restlessness, or even illness. It distances you from your true nature, clouding the radiant essence of who you really are. But here's the truth. This magic within you never disappears. It simply waits to be reawakened. So how do you restore the flow? The answer lies in cultivating spiritual practices that realign you with your inner current. Techniques such as meditation, conscious breathing, and mindful movement like yoga or Tai Chi are not merely rituals. They are tools for energy healing. With each deep breath, you invite peace into the body. With each moment of stillness, you give your spirit space to speak. And through movement, you allow stagnant energy to release, inviting vitality and harmony back into your system. These daily spiritual practices act like energetic maintenance for the soul, keeping your meridians open, your thoughts clear, and your emotions grounded. As we move through the noise of modern life, it's easy to forget how essential this energy flow truly is. We often focus on material goals, rushing through tasks, and numbing ourselves with distractions. But deep down, our spirit is always calling us back home to presence, to wholeness, and to truth. Reconnecting with your internal energy is not just about self-care. It is spiritual alignment. It is a sacred act of remembering your divine power, reclaiming your balance, and honoring the temple of your being. When you care for your energy, you naturally elevate your thoughts, magnetize better experiences, and live with greater emotional and spiritual clarity. Now, if you've ever felt like something inside you is blocked, like you're capable of more, but something unseen is holding you back, know that you are not alone. This is a common part of the spiritual journey. Many are walking through life feeling disconnected from their purpose, dimmed by emotional baggage, or drained by the energy of the world around them. But there is good news. You have the power to clear those blocks, to reignite your magic, and to live a life of true freedom. Let this message be your reminder. The energy that flows within you is your spiritual fuel. It is divine, intelligent, and sacred. It holds the blueprint for your highest potential. So take the time to nourish it, honor it, move with it, and trust that the more you tend to this inner magic, the more aligned and magnetic your outer life becomes. If this speaks to your soul, take a moment and say yes in your heart, or leave a comment saying yes below. Together, we are creating a space of healing, of awakening, and of spiritual empowerment. You were never meant to live a life of limitation. You are here to shine, to rise, and to remember who you truly are. 8. Visualization as a manifestation tool. One of the most profound ways to activate this inner power is through the practice of visualization. It's more than daydreaming. It's a spiritual technology. When you visualize with clarity and intention, you're not just imagining a better life. You're directing your inner energy to bring that life into existence. Your brain responds to this process by activating something called neuroplasticity, its natural ability to rewire itself. That means every time you clearly see your goals in your mind, you're building new mental pathways that lead you straight to them. And here's the key. The more often you do it, the stronger those pathways become. It's like exercising a spiritual muscle. The more you practice, the more powerful it gets. So start small, but stay consistent. Each morning, take just a few minutes to sit in silence, close your eyes, and fully immerse yourself in the world you are creating. Feel it, see it, believe it. Engage not just your imagination, but your emotions. Because your feelings are energy, and energy is what speaks the loudest to the universe. Let those feelings be real. Feel the joy of receiving. Feel the peace of living your dream. Feel the gratitude as if it's already yours. When you engage with this level of emotional intensity, you don't just think your vision, you live it energetically. And that emotional resonance begins to shift your vibration, syncing you with the frequency of your desires. This is how the law of attraction responds. Not to wishes, but to vibration. And when your energy becomes aligned with belief and joy, life starts responding in miraculous ways. To anchor this practice even deeper, try using a vision board. It's not just a craft project. It's a visual altar to your future. Fill it with images, affirmations, colors, and symbols that speak to your soul. Place it where your eyes naturally go each day. Let it become a daily invitation to remember who you are and where you're headed. But remember, visualization is not a shortcut. It's a compass. You still need to take action, even the smallest steps. The universe loves momentum. When you move, it moves with you. And here's something that can't be overstated. Belief is everything. If you can't see it for yourself, no technique in the world will make it happen. You have to believe deep in your bones that what you're creating is already yours in spirit. Doubt is the only thing that delays the manifestation. As Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. That's not just a quote, that's a spiritual law. Your beliefs are the foundation of your magic. So if you're going through a spiritual awakening, this is your time to begin tapping into your power consciously. The path to transformation isn't about waiting, it's about activating right now. Start seeing yourself as someone who already holds the key. Because you do. The magic is not out there, it's within you. If you're ready to step into your power, say it aloud or in your heart. I am ready. I visualize abundance flowing to me now. And don't forget to share this message. Subscribe for more, and let's keep growing this beautiful, high-vibe community together. 9. Heart coherence for spiritual awakening. Through the simple yet profound practice of heart coherence, by focusing on mindful breathing and intentionally cultivating emotions like gratitude, compassion, and joy, you can shift your emotional state in powerful ways. When your heart and mind are in sync, something beautiful happens. You begin to experience clarity, peace, and a deeper connection with your authentic self. As the great mystic Rumi once said, the wound is the place where the light enters you. What if your emotional turbulence is not something to suppress, but something to transform? How often do your emotions drive your choices, sometimes pulling you into anxiety, stress, or even burnout? Think back to moments when you reacted impulsively or felt drained by external situations. Wouldn't it be powerful to pause, breathe deeply, and return to your center, to the spiritual calm that already exists within your heart? This is not just emotional regulation. This is energetic mastery. When you commit to even just a few minutes a day to breathe mindfully and dwell in emotions that uplift you like peace, love, or appreciation, you start to activate a deeper dimension of your being. You're not just feeling better. You're rewiring your energy field. You're awakening the part of you that's always been whole, but maybe buried under years of stress and self-doubt. As Carl Jung once said, who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakens. So, let me ask you, what would happen if you chose today to tap into that inner magic? If you allowed your heart to lead instead of your fear? This is where your spiritual evolution accelerates. When your heart chakra is open and energized, it becomes a gateway to divine wisdom, creativity, and intuition. Your soul starts speaking louder than your doubts. And the best part? You don't need anything outside of you to begin. No complex rituals, no expensive tools, just your breath, your presence, and a willingness to tune inward. Every breath becomes a bridge. Every grateful thought becomes a key. And slowly, the locked doors of your soul begin to open. The journey of spiritual awakening doesn't start in the mind. It starts in the heart. The heart is your inner compass, your spiritual powerhouse, your source of magic. When you nourish this sacred space, you begin to notice subtle shifts in your outer world. Relationships become deeper, challenges seem less daunting, and life feels more aligned. You remember who you truly are, an energetic being with the power to create, transform, and elevate. So I invite you to ask yourself, what am I feeding my heart today? What emotions am I cultivating? Because the energy you emit becomes the reality you experience. By aligning with the frequency of love and peace, you literally shape your future. If this message speaks to you, comment below with the words, "Open Heart." Let this be your declaration that you're ready to unlock your spiritual potential. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more soul-nourishing insights that support your spiritual journey. 10. The Trinity of Transformation. Breathe, align, visualize. There is a divine spark resting quietly within you, waiting for your conscious command to awaken it. This isn't wishful thinking or mystical fantasy. It's a spiritual truth echoed across ancient teachings and modern discoveries in energy work. In today's episode, we're going to explore how you can unlock that magic using 3 timeless and transformative practices: mindful breathing, heart-centered alignment, and intentional visualization. These tools don't just bring peace, they awaken purpose. They guide you into alignment with your highest self and help you remember that you were never powerless to begin with. Let's dive into the essence of spiritual energy and how to activate it for a life filled with purpose, clarity, and manifestation. We begin with the breath, not just any breath, but mindful, conscious breathing. So often we overlook this fundamental act, yet it is the very bridge between the physical and spiritual realms. Breath is not just air, it is life force, known as prana in Sanskrit or ruach in Hebrew, both words pointing to the sacred essence within us. By slowing down and practicing deep, intentional breathing, we move from survival mode into a state of presence. Each breath becomes a sacred invitation to return to ourselves. Inhale calm, exhale tension. When done consistently, mindful breathing aligns your energy with intention, grounding you while simultaneously lifting your awareness. It is the first act of remembrance that you are not just a body moving through the world, but a spiritual being embodying purpose and power. Flowing naturally from the breath is the art of heart-centered alignment. This is where your emotional intelligence and spiritual insight begin to dance. When your thoughts and feelings are aligned, not in conflict, you begin to amplify your energetic field. This isn't just poetic, it's quantum. The heart emits an electromagnetic field that is more powerful than the brain's, and when your emotions and mind are working in harmony, that field becomes a beacon radiating clarity, strength, and resonance. Heart-centered alignment teaches you to live from a place of coherence, where your values and desires move in unison. This alignment doesn't just feel good. It creates tangible shifts in your environment. You begin to notice synchronicities. You attract supportive people. Opportunities unfold because your energy is no longer scattered. It is united, directed, and spiritually intentional. And then comes intentional visualization, the third key to activating your inner magic. Visualization is not passive dreaming. It is conscious creation. When you vividly imagine your desired life as though it is already unfolding, you rewire your subconscious mind to act in alignment with that vision. This is the spiritual science behind manifestation. The subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's imagined and what's real. It only responds to the energy and emotion you feed it. So when you visualize with emotion, gratitude, and clarity, you are speaking in the language of energy. You're not begging the universe, you are collaborating with it. Each mental image, when fueled by feeling, becomes a spiritual seed planted in the fertile soil of the present moment. By weaving these three practices together, mindful breathing, heart-centered alignment, and intentional visualization, you begin a process of spiritual awakening that is both empowering and deeply grounding. This is not about chasing instant gratification. It's about cultivating a daily relationship with your own energy, one that grows stronger, more focused, and more magnetic over time. This journey requires devotion, but the rewards are infinite. Peace, clarity, joy, abundance, and a life that feels deeply aligned with your soul's calling. Remember, the power to create the life you dream of does not exist outside of you. It lives within you. It always has. And the moment you turn inward with intention is the moment you begin to activate that sacred energy. This is your invitation to step into that magic. If your spirit is stirring and you feel the call, comment below. I am ready to tap into the powerful energy within me. Join a growing community of like-minded seekers, dreamers, and spiritual warriors who are committed to transforming their inner world to elevate the collective. The journey begins now, and it begins with you. As we wrap up today's exploration into the magic within you, remember that this power is not something far away or unattainable. It lives inside you, waiting to be awakened. By aligning with your inner energy and practicing the principles we've discussed, mindful breathing, heart-centered alignment, and intentional visualization, you can unlock a life filled with joy, purpose, and abundance. Now it's your turn to apply these tools to your daily life. What will activating your magic look like for you? Let me know in the comments. And if this resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with others. Together, we can continue this journey of spiritual growth and transformation.